To day two of the first ever Web3 PH Summit happening here at Draper Startup House. I hope all of you are ready to learn from our experts on the future of video games. This afternoon's event is entitled Gaming the System, What is the Future of Blockchain Gaming? This session will begin with a presentation from our keynote speaker, followed by a panel discussion led by a moderator. So without further ado, our keynote speaker will be sharing her message through a video. She is the project and live operations manager of Animoca. Animoca Outblaze Venture is a cross-platform app publisher of entertainment products for smartphones and tablets. Please welcome our keynote speaker, Tanya Samati. A round of applause, please.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here. My name is Tanya, and I am from Animoca Brands. I look after our live operations side, which usually includes community, social media, and different kind of events. And today I would like to talk to you a little bit about our mission around building an open metaverse. So, for those who are not familiar with Animoca Brands, we are a gaming company, and we are also known for a lot of our investments in the blockchain space. Our big mission is to deliver digital property rights to everyone in the blockchain industry and overall as an internet users. So we are really trying to drive a digital new kind of world with everything that we do. Here you can see some of the highlights from our previous achievements, and then also few facts mentioned about the company. So here you can see some of our key assets and subsidiaries. Some of you may know already, for example, Sandbox or Ref Racing or any of the other titles we have here. So we do build different kind of games, and we also build different kind of metaverses, and we have, for example, educational content, and overall we are kind of expanding to a lot of different areas where we do think that Web3 is going to be relevant. So something that is very important to us is that we believe in digital freedom. Overall, freedom can't exist without property rights. And we believe that in digital world, this is the same as in the physical world as well. And because of this, we believe that this is going to be the next important step to anyone who wants to be interacting in the digital world. Currently, a lot of us, we are spending a lot of time online. Actually, most of us spend even quarter or even third of our day interacting with different kind of apps and different kind of online platforms. And currently, you become kind of a resource for all of the companies who are running this space. And all of these companies, such as Facebook or Apple or Google, they have a lot of actually power over how you're spending your time, and bit of a overall ruling in how your data is being stored, and we have very little rights in the way that we are interacting online. However, we do believe at Animoca Brands that everyone should be owning your equity. We believe that your digital life is something where you also should be having rights. So our goal is to build a digital freedom, data and assets that they have in a digital world, much like you're really owning them in the real world. Same way as in the real world, you will have, if you are spending your time and money to get a certain asset, you can have it with you and use it at different places. In the current gaming system, if you, for example, spend hours and hours to get a specific sword, you can usually only use it in that specific game. And also, you don't really actually own it. You spend all of that time to get in there, but if the game company decides to shut down, anything you own, it will be gone as well. But what we believe is that you should really own the things that you have used all your time and your, for example, money to get to. And this means that, for example, if you have a game A where you are spending a lot of time and you are getting your items like a magical sword, you should be able to take it outside of that game and use it in other places as well. Whether it's going to be sword in those other games as well, doesn't necessarily have to be exactly one-to-one. It could be representing something else. But we do believe that whatever you're doing and the time that you're spending, it should be amounting to something. And by making it interoperable kind of metaverse where you can take things that you own and use them at different ways and interact with a lot of different platforms, we believe that that's going to be bringing more freedom, and it also allows a lot of creators and those who are spending their time in these platforms to benefit from it, instead of having just the companies who own them benefit from it. So metaverse, that's a very big buzzword that a lot of you have probably been hearing lately. And Facebook, well, Meta has been one of the big ones on the news for that. However, our vision is a little bit different than what you can hear a lot of the times online at the moment, because the metaverse, a lot of these companies are building is basically just you could say another level of more like a VR experience online. But we believe that true metaverse is really about ownership. We believe that if you own everything online, it becomes really more of a continuity into your real life existence. And because our everyday lives are getting more and more tangled with your online presence, it means that this actually will have a major impact both on your financials and your rights, and kind of meaning that there is between your real life persona and your online persona. So as Yatsio, our chairman at Animoca Brands, has said, we're living in kind of pre-metaverse. And the big question is, how will you have rights in the metaverse when that actually happens? And like said, if you are interacting in the metaverse that one of these big companies is building, you will not really have a lot of rights there. But we believe that through Web3, you can actually become an owner, you can become a shareholder, and you can actually really show who you are through the things you own online, and it can have a major impact onto your physical world. So we believe that the key thing when we're building the next layer of internet is really about ownership. And that means that community is becoming very, very important. So previously in the world that we kind of already know, all of these platforms, like I said, they are really owned by all of these big companies. And anyone who's interacting on them, you're really a resource. You're really just someone who's spending your time, and maybe you're enjoying being there, but you won't be getting much else on top of that. However, in the community-owned platforms, which becomes a true tokenization, you will have suddenly, you become an owner, you're a stakeholder, which means that you can also benefit from existing in this digital world. And we believe that it's going to be much more open and fair and secure when all those decisions are going to be visible, when everyone will have a part of a say on how things are going. Obviously, we will still need companies who are building up these platforms, and there is still time. Time will have to pass before we're going to be really getting into a metaverse section where people will have that kind of full say. But we do believe that it's very, very important to be building towards that. And communities are really going to be the key when we are looking at this, because when everyone becomes part of the ownership, it means that everyone will also have an idea of how each platform and each thing should be working. And when things are getting tokenized, it means that you can actually own very, very different kind of parts of that digital world. Sandbox is being a very, very good example, because you can actually own digitally land. You can decide to build there. You can decide, who do you want to interact with that land? What does that land present to you? And also the items that you're holding, how do they kind of show who you are to the other users on the world? So if we are looking at the current world, you can see people are having a lot of items that are becoming kind of status symbols, whether it's, for example, a nice bag that you own from a designer brand, and that's really showing kind of your status in the world. And it can become more of a thing. It's not just a thing where you're keeping your keys or your phone or something. It becomes really a status symbol. And same way, we've seen this kind of movement with a lot of the NFTs, which are becoming, for example, kind of almost tickets to private clubs, or you have a certain kind of utilities through these NFTs. And much like every action that you're taking on the digital world is becoming identifier of who you are. What are the causes that you support? What are things that are important to you? And also, where do you have access to? So much like in the real world, all of the things that you own will become more and more the kind of key point into who you are and what is your identity. So a lot of people do ask us about our investments as well, because we have a very large kind of portfolio of companies and very different kind of projects. And a lot of times we get kind of questions like, oh, are you not afraid to support competition? And how do you really think that there's space for everyone? And this is something that we believe very, very deeply, that building this new world together and having a shared network effect is something that is going to be benefiting everyone. Yes, obviously some parts of it are going to be growing more than the others, but overall, if this means that if some of these parts are doing better, it means the whole space is growing. And we believe that through that freedom, we are building a new kind of world. We're really giving more opportunities to those who don't kind of have them in a traditional world. We are creating different kind of ways to interact with people, and also for the companies to interact with people. Some companies are kind of scared about that effect of having kind of giving more power to users, but we do believe that that's going to be much more fairer model, where there is much more openness, and also the benefits of having this kind of shared space is going to be much more widely spread than the one that we see in the kind of traditional financial models. Another thing that we are getting a lot of questions about also is the current market, because obviously things have slowed down and there has been some pullback compared to, for example, where we were a year ago. However, if you are looking at even just traditional markets, you can actually see that there's a lot of pullback there as well. And we would argue that even more than in the Web3. And you can also see that there's actually still a lot of people who are very heavily investing in a Web3 side. And we are seeing this as really time to build, because we do think we're very confident that this will be the next big thing. We do think that there is a lot of room for growth, and now is the time to be building, so that when people start feeling comfortable getting back in, there is going to be a lot of different things to interact with and a lot of different ways to get involved. And if you're looking at our investments as well, that speaks very heavily for our belief in the space. We haven't slowed down. We're actually speeding up, and we do think that there is a lot of ways to go when it comes to Web3 space, and we are kind of just only getting started. And even as we speak, we already are actually reaching over 100 million users across the different portfolio companies that we do have, and through our subsidiaries. And this means that there is already a big pool of people who are interested in getting Web3 space. However, obviously we still have the masses to reach. So now is kind of like a very good time to get started. So to kind of summarize, we are really a global company that is aiming to change the future and how we live, play, work, everything that we do really. We believe very strongly that your digital identity is becoming more and more important. And by making sure that the space we are entering is going to be open for all and is not going to be controlled by just few entities, we believe that this is going to be the key in making kind of more fair future that has more opportunities to absolutely everyone. And that would be end of the presentation.
Thank you so much for that very insightful presentation, Tanya. Again, a round of applause for our keynote speaker, please. Now, to move forward on our event, the next part will be a panel discussion. And without further ado, let me introduce to you our first panel. We have Mr. Charlie Camus, co-founder of PlayCash. PlayCash is a browser extension that allows you smooth crypto transactions from buying NFTs, swapping tokens, and cashing out. Again, a round of applause for Miss Charlie Camus, please. Next up, we have Janze de Guzman, CEO at PlaygroundZero.io. Playground Zero is a community-focused GameFi platform that connects gamers, guilds, and GameFi studios. PGZ allows users to develop their brand, expand their network, and explore opportunities in GameFi. Again, a round of applause, please. Next, we have Ken San Miguel, content creator for DRDC and lecturer in UP Diliman. DRDC is building the future governance of gaming economy through blockchain. A round of applause, please. Next up is Jerry Zhang, co-founder of RCT.ai and Delysium. RCT.ai is providing AI solutions to the game industry and building the true metaverse with AI-generated content. Delysium is building an immersive, supreme, as well as dynamically generated open-world experience for all Web3 vanguards. A round of applause, please. And of course, to facilitate this discussion, we have also invited Miss Janina Manipol, co-founder and head of marketing at Cereva Labs. Cereva Labs is an independent Web3 game studio operating out of Singapore. They aim to carve out our place in the growing space of GameFi. A round of applause for our panel today.
Hi guys. Can you hear me? Is it on? Yeah. Okay, good afternoon everyone. Afternoon pa ba? Thank you all for being here today and braving the storm. I know it's such a hassle. It's been non-stop raining, but we're all here today and happy that you guys are here. My name is Janina Manipol. Again, I'm from Cereva Labs. I'm one of the co-founders and the head of marketing, and we're operating out of Singapore. And I will be your moderator for today to answer some difficult questions about gaming and blockchain. So for today's topic, it will be what is the future of gaming? And here we have our lovely panel that will help us answer those difficult questions. So to start off, I just want to ask each and every one of you, we'll start with you, sir. What is the first NFT game you tried?
I guess it would be like Abigachi.
Okay.
That'd be like a super long time ago.
What year was that?
So I was born in 1995. So I think like
Oh, 1995.
So at that time I tried the game. I was starting to invest in crypto. I think that was be 2817. So I think it was so amazing. I was definitely to be one of the next trend or the next phase of the industry. So just to get more familiar with this game. But initially, Abigachi is not it's not a game with too much playability. It was more gameplay. It's just like a very simple interaction with the game, but definitely just open a door for people just to get more imagination about how it can be just to be connected with NFT and more tokens and supported by the blockchain technology. So that impressed me a lot at that time. So yeah, I think that would be my answer for that.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm not familiar with that. I only only know Axie, and I did step in for a while.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
other than that, that's good to know. How about you?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Janina.
Hello, John.
Thank you for that wonderful question. Yeah, I'm stalling. Just kidding. First of all, I would like to wait lang. Sorry.
Yeah, no
I'm
worries.
sorry. I feel so nervous right now. It's so cold.
It's okay. We're all friends here. So
Well,
all of us are other people here. Some are really
Crypto
we
curious.
just want to learn.
Yeah,
Actually, for me as well. Like I'm excited to hear some insights from you. So
okay, I actually plan of just being myself, and my native language is Taglish. But
yeah, okay
with Jerry
lang.
here by my side,
Mag-Taglish tayong lahat.
I think I have to speak in straight English. But before everything, as you can see, I'm not in the creative. So just quickly, I would like to inform everyone that Arlan would have loved to be here. Arlan Vicencio, our global brand ambassador for DRDC. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to fly. So he is based in London.
Okay, so it's Sir Ken who's representing
Yes.
Arlan for today.
Yes, that's why I'm nervous. Just kidding.
It's
so
okay.
I've played Crypto Blades, but
Yeah.
I'm not really sure if that's even considered a game because it's only web-based and you just drag and drop, you just click. So I sort of liked it because of the probabilities associated with winning and
Okay.
how it's just like rock, paper, scissors, right? Crypto Blades.
I'm not familiar
Oh,
with
sorry.
that game as well.
So that explains your blank
yeah,
face.
yeah. I'm
sorry.
like, what
And-
is that?
And I'm sorry?
No, I was like, what is that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also, who hasn't played Axie? Well, I think few here didn't.
I'm sure
but
everyone in the Philippines heard or at least like came
So-
across Axie.
last year, I was a manager
Okay.
for Axie.
How is it going now?
How is it going, or how did it go? No comment. No.
No comment. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
I
think-
guess for the past year, I mean last year, everything about P2E were all the rage, and it was actually all the topics amongst VC game developers. Diba? An amount of money kept pouring in last year for projects. Yeah, so this year is a bit different. It's crypto winter, but it's the best time to build. So here we all are trying to again immerse ourselves into this whole cryptosis. That's me. It's a new term I learned, and it's actually it's someone who wants to absorb anything and everything crypto, and someone who can't stop talking about it. So I guess that applies to all of us.
Thank you. So before I pass on my mic to Jasny. Sorry, Janzi. Janzi, yeah. There's a right time for everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. First of all, thanks for Web3 PH Summit for having us here. Very excited to be here. I'll go with something everyone's already familiar with. It was actually Axie that got me started.
That one I know.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll go with that. A friend of ours actually invited us to kind of try out this game. We're a group of friends who love gaming. We also love crypto. Been in the space for like the past 5 years. Started in 2017. So he was pitching the game. He was saying, there's actually a game that you can make money just by playing it. So we asked him to do a 1-hour presentation of what that means. So I think he had slides and screenshots of the game, and he walked us through it, how to set up a wallet, and what it's all about. And after a week, we gave it a try, installed our Ronin wallets, bought our starting teams, and that's actually what kicked off PGZ as it stands. We
Nice.
started out as a guild, just a group of friends with a few teams, and then we just kept growing. We crossed 100. And then 1,000, and before you know it, we're scaling our full-sized guild. And
Wow.
at some point, we had to build a platform to help us kind of manage our operations, and here we are. But yeah, Axie Infinity, and I think at that point it was a pretty interesting take on gaming. Pretty
Were you
revolutionary.
actually playing? Or
I did. I did play
for a while, and
I
then
tried to finish my 20 energy a day. or 10 energy. I
Yeah,
forget.
yeah.
But yeah, I love card games. I loved Magic the Gathering as a kid. So it was an interesting take. Really pushed the space
Yeah.
forward. I know right now things are kind of difficult. Everyone's figuring out what to do next, but it did a great job in kind of helping people think about the
Yeah, like
possibilities in the space.
it opened everyone's.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool.
So there,
Thank you so
Axie.
much. And for you, Miss Charlie,
Miss Char.
I actually met Job in Token.
Oh, really?
yeah, with my
He's
friend.
somewhere out there.
Yeah, he
in
said
the
he's here to
audience.
support you. So I was like, oh, you're here. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So, yeah, I'm Charlie and I'm from PlayCash. And
Okay.
PlayCash is actually a project that's straddling fintech. So, we're not a game developer, unlike
Okay.
like the rest of my co panelists here. And I'm opening with that as an excuse
Yeah.
as to why I am not a gamer, first and foremost. I would consider myself like a hyper casual gamer. So I don't know if you guys have heard of Fancy Birds, but
Fancy Birds. Has
Oh,
anyone heard
why
of
are
Fancy
you
Birds?
laughing? No, but it's actually the crypto equivalent of your like
Angry Birds, okay.
No, not Angry Birds, Flappy Bird. So it's it's a more casual game even. So yeah, but that stint with Fancy Birds didn't really go well. My top score was just like a 20. So after that, I decided, yeah, I'm really not a gamer.
I really
Uh,
don't. Okay, that's cool. So, anyone else would like to add to their first NFT game? No, that's all.
Oh.
Because my next question will be actually directed to you, Sir Jansen, again.
On the spot. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so let's kick it off with this first question for you. What pain point is Playground Zero trying to solve at the moment?
All right. Pain point. Okay. Cool. So what we're trying to do really is to help people get started and stay active.
Oh,
in-
sorry. For those of you who don't know, could you give a, like a
Oh, yeah,
30-second background on what Playground
Sure,
Zero
yeah.
is
So
again?
we started out as a guild.
Yeah.
We built a platform, and we've gone through several pivots. That's all that matters. But right now, what we are is a GameFi networking platform looking to connect gamers, guilds, and game studios. So we offer jobs, let people offer their services, and soon to come, early next year, will be quests, which are like random tasks that people can do, for money and on behalf of others.
Everyone, let's work together.
But we're set to release full public next year.
Amazing.
Cool. Now to address your question, pain point. Well, we are a matchmaking platform. So what we really want to do is help people get started and stay active in Web3, GameFi, and the metaverse. As we all know, the metaverse can be a really exciting place, but the metaverse will require builders. Unfortunately, there are not that many builders yet in the metaverse or Web3. But fortunately,
Tech stocks last week just dropped. So it's not
yeah, it's an entirely new space, but it will require building from the ground
Yeah.
up. But fortunately as well, that means there are lots of opportunities in the space. We already have a lot of Web2 or traditional people getting interested in the space, but that also means that Web3 and the metaverse will require new people to step in. There are new opportunities opening up, and that's what we really want to make happen. We want to build a platform wherein people who are looking for help to build in the metaverse can step in and find an ideal role for them to contribute in. So that's what we're building. We offer roles wherein people can get started and contribute in building the
basically
metaverse.
you just want to onboard people
Yeah,
to this
yeah. We want
whole
to
space.
exactly. We want to tell people that there are many roles you can pursue in GameFi, not just as a player, not just as a guild member. You can be a streamer, you
Yeah.
can be a community manager.
Like lots of avenues for you to choose from.
Exactly. We imagine the metaverse as a collaborative space. So
Cool,
that's the
cool.
pitch.
Thank you for that. My next question will be for Charlie. So, you're wearing a Breeder DAO hat right now. What is the biggest challenge you see with onboarding gamers into Web3?
All right. So just a quick background, right? I do wear my breeder hat because I am also a PR and communications
Yes.
consultant for
Yes.
Breeder DAO. But really, I think this question is more appropriate for PlayCash, which is the
Okay,
project that
okay.
we're co-founding.
Okay, as a play cash.
Yeah, because onboarding people in the space, right? I'm sure people here who have played Axie, I mean, my co-founders have played Axie, Judging right here. It's in the audience with us. And we're all familiar with the pain points that people have to go through to play Axie or like Pegasi, right? It involves a lot of switching, swapping, and eye-twitching transactions
Yes.
as we speak. If you would go on YouTube and search those games like Axie or Pegasi, you would see at the top would be like, paano bumili ng Axie, right? And it's a breakdown of that step-by-step process, which involves
Like
you
buying
being,
Axie for
Yeah.
dummies.
right? It's you being on Binance and
Yeah.
swapping this token, sending it to another
Because
wallet.
it can get pretty complicated,
it
especially
can.
if you're not familiar with. I mean, for me, especially during the first time, like I was like, "What's MetaMask?"
Right. And even when you do have a MetaMask, like the transactions that you have to do to keep on playing the game, it still takes a lot of time, right? It still takes a lot of brain power. So at PlayCash, what we're trying to solve here is ease of onboarding, basically. Imagine going to the Axie marketplace, activating our browser extension, and being able to buy an Axie. Scan a QR with your GCash, and then the Axie gets sent to your Ronin wallet. So, yeah, that's really what we're trying to address here, the ease of onboarding. And not just onboarding, also off-ramping. Pag sa Axie kasi, usually ang tanong dyan, paano ko i-withdraw yung cash ko, right? So we wanted to eliminate that problem by providing them with a transaction aggregator of sorts. So, but yeah, right now it's not just Axie that we're working on. It's also OpenSea, and soon will be available in different marketplaces as well. So yeah,
When you say you're working with OpenSea, meaning you will have a plugin
yes,
that a browser plugin for OpenSea.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Wow.
So yeah, the vision is really to be present in relevant NFT marketplaces.
looks
So-
rare.
Yeah.
Also, okay.
Also,
Okay,
and
okay.
also Magic Eden eventually. So, yeah, we are looking to do our closed beta testing next week, actually, and after that, a few weeks, we'll do an open beta and then the public launch. So yeah, by then I hope to be able to come back here and maybe talk about PlayCash some more.
That her answer definitely hit it. So basically means you're making it easier for everyone to come in and join these Web3 games with their plugin. Okay, great. Next question will be directed to Sir Ken. I can go with Jerry
It's
first.
okay. I'm ready.
Okay, Ken, other than Axie, what games have caught your attention and why are you keeping tabs on this particular game?
Okay, so am I answering for myself or for my organization?
Maybe you can
I think I
answer
am
for
organization.
yeah.
Because
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
That's true.
I'm here for them. Yes.
Yes.
DC, they've looked into other games, other NFT games, and
Could
they've-
you let us
they've
know what?
mentioned-
those- yeah.
I'm just about to say that.
Okay.
So they've mentioned about Mir 4. It's an MMORPG, and Nino Kuni Crossworlds.
All local games?
No,
or-
Asian.
Oh, Asian.
I think
okay.
those are Asian games.
South Korean.
Those are you
okay.
South Korean? I'm sorry. Oh, you're sorry. I'm really sorry. So, those two games caught their attention because of their excellent story and gameplay, and also because of
How was their economies?
sorry,
You-
story and gameplay.
Okay.
Story and gameplay, and also they've mentioned about Star Atlas,
Star
and they liked it because of
Atlas.
the promising gameplay. I think it's quite interesting. I'm actually not really
Very
familiar
familiar.
with those three, so we have other people who look into other games. So those
So
are the
tho-
games
so
that they
those
mentioned. Most of those games caught their attention mainly because of the game itself,
Yeah.
not because of anything else. But
Okay. Are you
because
also familiar with their game economy or it's
game economy?
yeah,
No.
no.
Sorry.
Okay, okay. Because that's one of the major reasons why people get onboarded to the
But
game and
yeah, but actually those three are NFT games.
okay,
But
okay.
I'm not familiar with how the tokenomics
Work. Yeah,
works with
yeah.
those. Maybe either of them know.
I'm sure Jerry would know.
I just
So-
some details about the things. You mean for tokenomics for the Mir 4 or Star Alice?
Yeah.
So basically, I think Mir 4 is like an MMORPG game, which is developed by a South Korean company. So, you know, for gamers, when we just going to play the MMORPG game, we're going to grind and get those items, let's say sword or knife or, you know, some suits. And that will get more buff to the players to be more stronger and kill the boss more easier. So that'll be like the basic the game look, especially the gameplay and the game mechanism for those MMORPG game. Because you know, if a game with the RPG genre, it will like to get his character, his items, his weapon to be upgraded to
Yeah.
be more powerful and more showing more identity to you know to kill the boss and you know to get more feedbacks, interesting feedbacks from the gameplay. So I think the Mir 4 tokenomics mainly based on the game loop. So it's more like an amplifier to provide more liquidity to those assets, which is more rare and more precious, to get more trading. So I think basically it is the tokenomics based on the Mir 4 is based on its gameplay and game mechanism. Yeah, and for Star Alice, I think I read their white paper before. They have like dual token system, and it's all related about, let's say, to get those material from the land and do the mining and consume the material, those materials to from the basic level to advanced level, and then gonna to also just do some upgraded in their character, in their weapons, in their ship, just to get a better game experience or more buff. That was like the general or universal logic for those sort of game with RPG genre. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
those play to earn models before
Yeah.
haven't been really working. That's why we're trying to solve that problem
Yeah,
now.
sure. That is all about the tokenomics, how to just the combination, more healthier combination, especially bring more utility to the game itself. More
Exactly.
From gamer side, from trader side.
And they're developing
Yeah.
like other like burning mechanisms.
Yeah,
like,
definitely, yes. Yeah, the breeding mechanism is like sort of way for players to you know contribute more, no matter their money, their time, and even their emotion into that
Yeah.
game. So that'll be very important to you know be combined. To,
It's
yeah,
actually an
yeah,
exciting future. So
Yeah,
that's
sure.
why we're all here because we believe in it.
I don't know.
Actually, it's for you now.
Yeah.
Sure. No, it's okay. I'm gonna take over now. It's okay.
Okay, Jerry. What about NFT gaming and blockchain tech is most attractive for traditional game studios like yourself?
All right. I think before answering this question, I'm going to have a brief introduction for Delysium and even for our parent company, RCT. So for RCT AI, we are a white company that are alumni, Winter 19. We just supported by white company that are Makers Found and Gax Interactive for building AI meta beings and virtual beings, and it's sort of like a creation platform for everyone just to use. So in order to build up like a metaverse driven by AI technology, AI generated content, so-called AIGC, we just build a lot of scenario or cases to support these technologies to be approached by as many as people possible. So in that way, we just built Delysium as a AAA quality level game project. So we prefer to regard ourselves like a game, or let's say Web3 game, rather than GameFi projects, because our principle is just to build a game which is very fun to play. So as you can see, we just launched our season 1 to our community members. A lot of players join our games so basically, I think that the future version of Delysium is to build up like a virtual open world, which is like a lot of AI virtual beings are massively distributed in every corner of the game. So initially we just launched the first gameplay as like a battle royale, which is more like a cyberpunk art style plus Apex Legend gameplay for the first initial stage. So yeah, I think for the game quality, that is super good. So I'm pretty confident to say that we are the top three game quality currently in the whole Web3 industry, especially game industry. So yeah, that was like a very brief introduction. So echo back to the question, what sort of technology or what can be bring more to the game studio, game developer? I think like, so first I want to enhance, there's a perspective from myself and also from our team. So, you know, for a lot of Web3 going to emerging now, I think the first principle for the Web3 game in the future is going to be like, we need to build a very good game with, you know, a high playability and lots of or more complex gameplay or game mechanisms just to provide the players with a real experience. Because the only way we to, you know, to invite or just to boom in the Web3 industry or the metaverse itself is going to use a better experience or better gameplay just to attract those traditional gamers join into the world. So for Delizium, we don't set any like unfamiliar user journey for traditional players. So everyone gonna just to use their email and password just to log into Elysium just to play the game as the.
Would you have like KYC and stuff like that?
No. Just I think we're gonna separate it to different parts.
Okay.
Yeah, for average gamers, we just choose the familiar way that they play. Let's say Apex Legend or Valorant or CS:GO, just to
Okay.
use their email and their password just to log in the game and to play. And then we just use some smart triggers in the game, just kind of to convert some interesting player just to convert into the Web3 players. So that'll be like a core mentality for us to build up this game. I mean, the technical framework. And also, echo back to your question again. I think blockchain technology and especially the crypto bring more opportunities and spaces for the game studio to have a better way or method to figure out who are the players who contribute a lot to the games. Let's say, hey, I kill like 100 people per day in Delizium or in PUBG, and I also like check to like over 1,000 NPCs in the world. So that'll be like a token, could be a way to be rewarded to the core players, and also to provide more liquidity and like say ways to do the monetization. Yeah.
Okay. So it's basically like deflationary, your tokens, or
You mean the
in-game
positioning of our
tokens,
token?
yeah.
I think that is a pretty long story. I think let's make it short.
Okay.
Yeah, because the time is limited. It's okay. I think Delizium is very innovative. It's not only because we have the best game quality, we have the AI-powered virtual beings in the world, but also we just use the decentralized game publishing structure, because we're just decoupling the game experience and the on-chain incentives, which means like, let's say, hey, we have 100 players now. Every player can use Delizium game content to issue your token, just to use your token to be sort of incentive to the players who contribute a lot to the game.
Okay.
So for our token is mainly regarded as like a governance token, which is gonna to manage the relationship between the
you
development
can
team
get
and the publisher team.
in-game assets with the token.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Yes, definitely
okay.
yes. Yeah, sure.
Nice. Cool. Thank you for that.
Yeah, so sorry, a lot of a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah. It's okay. The longer, the better. For Miss Charlie. Sorry, I'll drop the miss na. Parang kanina sabi mo. Okay. Other than Axie also, what games have caught your attention and why are you keeping tabs on this game? It's the same question, but addressed
Sure.
to you. Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe now's the time that I wear my breeder
Yes,
DAO hat.
exactly.
Yeah.
And for those of you, the people here who don't know what Breeder DAO is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Breeder DAO is what we call Breeder DAO the NFT factory of the metaverse. So basically, we produce quality assets for blockchain games. So yeah, during my stay in Breeder DAO, I've heard of a lot of games, and one that's been making noise now within the organization is Digidaigaku, which is which makes use of a game economy that's free to own. So
Free to play, no. Free to own.
no, it's free to own. Yeah, basically you get a spirit that you can mint and you can
Okay.
breed to produce a hero. So Breeder DAO has just released a tool that allows you to turn your spirits into heroes, basically. So yeah, if you guys would want to if you guys would want to look that up, you can go to the Breeder DAO website. It's breederdao.io, and under tools, you'll see the Digi Daigaku tool, which is
Digi-Daigaku tool.
Daigaku tool. So, sorry. Full in producing mobile games. So yeah, it's very exciting that we are, people who are well known in mobile gaming are now moving into crypto gaming. So yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I actually, like, before this, I researched about what Breeder DAO was, and I think you have more than Axie. Other than Axie, which ones are you?
Yeah. We also produce assets for Cybol, Pegasus, Krabada. I can go on and on, honestly. And right now, Breeder DAO is not limiting itself to play to earn games. We can also actually create NFT assets for other industries within the metaverse.
Wow.
So,
Okay, so they're open to more than just Web3 games.
yes. So yeah, we are the factory of the metaverse. So whatever it is that you need produced.
Maybe Suriva can work with you guys soon.
Yeah, definitely. We're very open to game partnerships and guild partnerships as well. So yeah.
Cool. My next question will be addressed to you. Okay. Do you think the current play-to-earn model will find its second wind? And what alternative models are you guys interested in?
Wow. All right. Okay, probably I'll take it in two parts. So, first off, probably not in its current form. It'll probably evolve. I was talking to Jerry about this a while ago. From play and earn, wherein you just play and expect something guaranteed in return, to more of play and get something in return. And what I mean by get something in return, as an avid gamer, when I'm done playing a game, I would love to easily sell my account, get some money in return, and use that sort of as a discount in buying my next game.
Okay. Yeah.
That's one way as a player. I worked hard for that character. I want to be able to, sell it for, some money and a discount. On the flip side of that is, I want to be able to go into a game and just buy a level 100 character. Like, as a kid, it's exciting to start a game and level
It's
it
like
up.
inputting your Sims
Yeah.
cheat code.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to get into the game and enjoy, the end
Yeah.
game, and just go through enemies and just spawn and fight the bosses. So that's one way, right? What P2E really did with all the marketplaces and NFTs is really provide liquidity in a marketplace. Like, marketplaces in gaming have always been around, albeit that they have been in black markets wherein you have to go through Reddit communities to kind of trade, or some websites build specialized marketplaces, but they've always sort of been off the books, kind of. So liquidity, right? So liquidity, what it does is it makes exchanging things easier. So once I'm done with the game, I'll move on to the next. I don't want it to sit idle, and someone else can enjoy it. What I worked hard for. So that's the first part.
Yeah.
I promised two
Yeah.
parts, I guess. Second part is we kind of imagine the metaverse being a collaborative place, and that's part of our mission in PGZ, to kind of provide roles to people who are interested in GameFi and in building out the metaverse. I would love to see games that are more collaborative in nature.
Do you mean like interoperability amongst other games, or just?
That's one, but more in gameplay itself. Right now, you probably you're all warriors. If anyone played Ragnarok, right? There are traders, there are merchants, there are builders, there are crafters. In the future with NFTs, some of these roles may be more prominent. I could be a full-time merchant and make money off of that, right? Or I can be a warrior, wherein I specialize in killing the bosses, and I get something in return, like Jerry said. Or I could be, it's a metaverse, and the metaverse needs buildings and structures, and I could just specialize in building. I could be an engineer or architect in the real world, and in the metaverse. I'm building, places digitally. So that's it. Like, I would love to see games like that, and there are already some
Sandbox is doing something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, that would be love. And you mentioned interoperability. Maybe that's a third part wherein you own an NFT or a character in one game and just plug it in,
Yeah.
in another game. I mean, that would be awesome, right? I mean, some games like Smash Brothers does that. They incorporate other characters into their game. But yeah,
Yeah, it's
that would be
a
exciting.
ecosystem that it's hard to build and sustain, but we'll get there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, right?
I've just been told that we have only a few minutes left, so I have the last two questions addressed to Jerry and Ken. But I'll start with Ken first. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Ken, as a content creator for DRDC, what content do you see the most engaging to your audience? Do you run any events for your community?
Wait, bago to ah. Sorry. So as a content creator, yes. Thank you for
Yeah,
your
hindi na
question.
gamer.
Yeah, thank you
Content
for your
creator
question.
na.
Thank you for revising your question. My role actually in the RDC is just to write contents. I'm a writer of articles. I write the majority of our magazine.
Okay.
I also do some video editing if
Okay.
nobody else is available.
I'm a video editor also.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a filmmaker, so.
Wow.
pwede-
And also I do some creative on the
Okay,
side, but
okay.
I'm not really that creative, I think, when it comes to things like this. I'm really a writer. And we have dedicated people
Mhm.
looking into the analytics.
Okay.
So it's really something, to be honest, it's something that I'm not really familiar with. I'm
Okay.
just focused on creating the content
The written
that,
content.
that are asked of me
Yeah.
as best as I can.
Okay.
But I'm not really sure how they are accepted or how engaging they are. But based on my experience, wait, by the way, I also remembered. I also host live streams. When we do live streams, I also host sometimes.
Live
Yeah, yeah.
streams. Okay, cool.
So I think,
Then you don't have to be nervous.
yeah. Well, I feel nervous to be on the other side. Yeah.
I see.
I do event hosting also. But it's different when you're expected to.
When you're being asked tough questions.
Yeah, when you're being asked tough questions. But yeah, we have people that we trust into looking into the analytics of what we
Mhm.
post. So I'm just focused on creating content. But I think people are more engaged with the game itself. Perhaps
Yes.
the early version of our sorry, minsan nawawala eh.
Oo nga, ganun talaga yung life.
The mic is intermittent. Yeah. Yeah, the mic serves. Well, before I end, because we have a few minutes left, I just want to share with everyone that they can
Mhm.
approach me if they are interested with the RDC. I have QR codes ready
Okay.
in my phone. So, unfortunately, we are not a keynote speaker, so we
Yeah.
don't have slides to show it. But yeah, just approach me later.
Okay, guys, you heard
Thank
that right. Approach lang Ken if you wanna ask him some questions or
About the RDC.
collaborate. Yeah. Can I end with one more question for everyone, or just one person? Everyone. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna end it with this question for all. It's like a parting question. Okay, and we'll start with you. Okay. So, when do you think will P2E and NFT games bounce back, and how do you think that game will look like considering everything that's happening right now and what happened last year? We've seen a bull run and now we're bear, and yeah. How cold do you think this winter will get, and how long?
From my perspective?
Yeah.
Okay. So personally, nervous again, right? So personally, I think that the play to win, play to earn this term is gonna to be it's going to be disappear. It's because in every the development of each industry, I think the Ponzi phase is definitely an essential one because
Yeah.
it needs to educate people just to join in the in this industry to get more. So I think that phase has passed. I think for the next phase, kind of more real experience and more content going to appear more and more high quality like games or music or other industry going to become combined with Web3 or crypto going to appear more and more because people going to return back to the basic and fundamental business logic and also for the users' profile and user preference, just to match the real demand of the users, not be driven by the earning or the yielding features. So I think it is very common to all industry. If the early stage has passed, then it needs to be more legally permission and more permissionless and more utility to solve the real demand of no matter for the players or common users, like social demand or music demand or game demand, just to acquire more common users to join in the industry. That'll be the next phase. So personally, I think I go back to the question again. I think play to earn is definitely dead. And next stage, no matter for play to own or play to pay for fun, definitely, I don't know, just like everybody is gonna try for that. Yeah. I think play to earn is more intentionally. Like the only goal is probably just to earn something from play the game. But if everyone gonna to take the money, take the cash out of the game, then whoever gonna to pour into the game? That'll be the core question. I think for the traditional game industry, the answer for this question is that we build a game product, and the player gonna to top up and play for the content. That'll be the very simple but very efficient solution just to deal with the thing. So, and for play and earn, that may be more be suitable or feasible to the current stage, because more and more game developer and game studio be conscious that they have to provide the game playability. Meanwhile, just to provide some feature or yielding feature, because their target user groups are quite different. For playability, they have the possibility just to acquire the traditional game players, while the earning feature are targeting to acquire the crypto native users, because the user profile and user preference are quite different. So that'll be like a growth strategy for different ways. Yeah. Thank you.
It's okay. We can proceed since we're running out of time. Time's up, actually. Is that okay? We didn't get through the other people for the last question. Chris? Okay lang? Yeah? Okay. So we'll wrap it up. Okay, guys, that's it for our session today, which is gaming and the future of gaming. And thank you, everyone, for joining me here, and everyone else. Thank you so much for braving the rain and being here. I hope you learned a lot of insights from these wonderful people. And I think we're going to have to stand up and take a quick photo. Yeah?
Again, thank you for our panelists for joining us tonight for a very, very rich discussion. May we have a photo with Miss Bianca? All right, a round of applause for everybody. I hope you were able to pick up a thing or two in that very engaging discussion. Thank you all for taking the time to join us in this evening session. Gaming the System, what is the future of blockchain gaming?